Hey everybody, it's Mike Brewer from ApartmentHacker.com, and tonight we're going to talk about no perfect record. No perfect record as it relates to placement. That is sourcing and hiring people into your organization. And what I mean by no perfect record is that, at least as it relates to my imagination, no person in this industry, no person at Mills Properties, no person in any industry across the country has ever made, or batted 1,000 rather, in terms of hiring talent into your organization. And so just knowing the fact that there is no perfect placement record, I want to talk about 5 things that you can do and should do once you recognize that you've hired someone that isn't going to be productive or create the results that you need or want in your organization. The first one is accept responsibility. You have to, as a leader, accept responsibility that from time to time you're going to make a bad hire. You will never bat 1,000%. But the quicker, the faster you realize that, and the faster that you own it and you take responsibility for it, the better it will end up down the road. That is to say, you can't sweep things under the rug. You can't ignore that gut feeling that you will get from time to time. You can't turn a blind eye. You have to see it, realize it, and act on it immediately. You are doing no favors to anyone, not yourself or not that person is working for you, if you just ride it out and ignore it. And it doesn't matter if you're right in the middle of the busiest season of your organization. You have to do it. You have to act on it. You have to be courageous enough to do it. Recognize those moments of truth and take advantage of them. Have courageous conversations and deal with it. Second thing is, don't be afraid to remove people. Don't be afraid to do it. And let me tell you something. You will take massive criticisms for moving through people. And the reason you'll do that is because no one aside from you and the person across from you, meaning that employee that is going to be terminated, will know the full story. No one. Your HR director might know it, and there might be a circle of influence that might know it, but everyone will not know it. And from time to time, you will take massive criticisms because you will be making a decision that will not be popular with the masses. Okay, so but don't be afraid to do it. You have to stand firm sometimes in your decisions, despite the fact that people just cannot know the full story. The third thing is, be prepared to coach up or coach out. Coach up or coach out. I am a firm believer and an advocate that you can save anybody. You can coach anybody to success, but you have to realize and acknowledge the fact that sometimes success is an exit. Okay? Success is a door that has an exit sign above it, and you have to be courageous enough to coach someone out of the organization. You have to be courageous enough to do it. The fourth thing is that if sometimes when you make a bad hire, it doesn't mean that you hired a bad person. It just means that you put them in the wrong seat on the bus, to steal from Jim Collins in his book Good to Great. It just means that you have to maybe reassign them or put them in a different role where they can in fact be successful. So just because you made a bad hire, in other words, you aren't getting the results that you hired that person for, it may not mean that that person is bad or that they don't add value for your organization. It just means you have to go find the role that they can be successful in. And the fifth thing I would say, as it relates to placement and having no perfect record, sometimes the way that you sort of hedge your bets is to promote from within. That should be at the top of your operating mantra in any organization. You should always look internally before you look externally, and promote from within. Because when you promote from within, you have somebody that already understands your culture. They live it and they breathe it. They understand it. They don't have as steep of a learning curve as somebody that you might bring in from the outside. So don't ignore those opportunities that might be right in front of you. And it doesn't mean that that person will be prepared day one to produce the results that you want to produce. But it does allow for the learning curve to be less steep, meaning they already know the culture, they already know the company, so they don't have to learn that. They just have to learn the role that you're putting them in. So those 5 things, while they won't get you to a perfect record as it relates to hiring people and putting them in roles and giving them responsibilities, it will help you to have a better batting average if you want to define it in those terms. But those are some things that you can exercise to help yourself have a better record. So anyway, that's the thought for tonight. I hope you have a fantastic balance to your week, and we will talk to you soon.